Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I got a query from a user. The person is looking for a Power Automate based flow. I thought to record a video on this. The use case is I I may receive many emails like 200 to 300 in a day, and I would like to summarize the total occurrences on some of the contents and then trigger an automation email to me. For example, I received 200 emails today, 40 emails with the word apple, 60 emails with the word orange, and remaining banana. So I need to work a Power Automate script that can do a summary with every 24 hours and summarize the total occurrences of these words. Then initialize and notification email to me for acknowledgement. So this is the problem statement. We can achieve this by the help of Power Automate. We need to implement two Power Automate. First Power Automate is going to trigger whenever there is a new email and will count the occurrence of these keywords. Second Power Automate based flow will occur on recursive basis like every 24 hours in order to share the summary of the occurrence of the email. And third, we need something where we can store the data. uh, Store data like after every execution of the flow, after counting the number, we need to store the output. So for this demo purpose, I'm going to utilize the SharePoint based list, but as per the business case, you may utilize Dataverse or maybe SQL or Excel. So let's start it. Navigate to Power Automate flow. Before starting the implementation, let me create the SharePoint list in order to store the data. We are going to create the blank list, a custom list. Summary of fruits. So as we have three fruits, apple, orange, and let's say mango. Click here and we are going to create three columns for them. This is purely based on the logic. Either you can add fruit names in the title and you can include one count column, and in the count column you can populate the count. But in our case, we only have three uh, keywords. So I will create separate column for each. One for apple, one for orange, and let's say mango. So these are the required keywords. Let me navigate back to Power Automate. Click on create. The flow, first flow is going to be automated cloud-based flow that is going to trigger for every new email. Search for when a new email trigger. Select version 3. Click on create. This is the latest user interface of Power Automate. I'm not very much comfortable in this, so I will switch back to the classic version by the help of this toggle button. First, we are going to read the body content of the email. In order to do so, search for compose. In compose, we have the body from the previous action, and let me quickly test it. Our flow is looking for a new email. Now let me quickly send an email. testing summary of fruits. This is the title and same is the body content. We have received the email. Let me switch back to Power Automate. Our flow is still executing. Let's wait for a few seconds. Our flow ran successfully. Let me quickly have a look on the body content. The body content is available in the HTML format. First, we need to convert this HTML format into a plain text. So let's do it quickly. Search for HTML. We have an action HTML to text. It is currently under preview. In the content part, provide the output of the compose and let's test it quickly whether we are receiving the body in the plain text or not. Our flow ran successfully. Now we have the required output in the plain text format. I will utilize split action on the body of the email to get the count of apple, orange and mango. Split will provide us the collection of array, and on the array we can utilize length function to calculate the number of items in the array. Let me do it quickly. Click on new step, search for compose. Before using split, we are going to convert the content into the lowercase, or you may convert into the uppercase as well as per the requirement, but the complete content should be in a standard format, whether uppercase or the lowercase. Reason, split function is a case sensitive, so uh, if you don't convert in lower or uppercase, you may end up with the incorrect count or the numbers. So first, search for to lower expression and convert the plain text into the lower. Now let me quickly test it. Our flow ran successfully and we have our content in the lower case. Now we are good to use a split function on this. Search for compose, navigate to expression and write this expression: split output of the previous action compose. Now the keyword name. This will return the array. Now I can use length function. I guess there is a typo. Yes, length function. This expression will provide the count of the array. But the problem here is arrays start with the 0 index. So we need to subtract 1 from the final count. Okay. Let me rename it quickly. Apple count. We have received the email. Let me go back to Power Automate. Our flow is still executing. Let's wait for a few seconds. Our flow ran successfully. Let's look at the count. Apple count is 3. Switch back to the Outlook. 1, 2, 3. Yes, the count is correct. We can replicate same action for the other fruits like orange and the mango. Orange count. Now update the expression. Orange. Similarly, now we have count for keywords apple, orange, mango. Save the count, save the number in our SharePoint list. Search for update item in SharePoint. Provide the required input, site address, list name and the ID. For the ID we don't have any item in the list, so let me quickly create one dummy item. We are going to utilize the same item every day and we'll share the summary based on this item only. Select the site address, then the list name, search for the list summary of fruits, and the ID of the item is 1. Before updating, first we need to retrieve the existing count. We can utilize get item. Item ID is 1. Now click here on apple, navigate to expression, write this expression. I'm using int to convert the string. Compose will always give you a string output, so we need to convert this into a number. Our flow ran successfully. Let me cross check the SharePoint list. Yes, numbers are updated. 3, 3 for apple, 3 for orange and 3 for the mango. Let me go back and cross check. Yes, that the output is correct. Just like this, for every new email, this flow will update the SharePoint list. So now the next flow we are going to set up to share the summary, that is the recursive flow. It will execute every day at the specific time. To implement recursive flow, click on scheduled cloud flow. Provide the name of your flow. Let's say summary. fruit summary and starting date is today, and I want to receive the summary of the emails in evening, let's say 11 p.m. in evening. Repeat one time and daily. Click on create, switch back to the classic version. Now click on new step, search for get items. Provide the required information like site address, list name and the ID of the item. ID is 1 because we are going to use the same item every time. After sharing the summary, we'll reset the value. Now we have the count. Search for send email. From the get item, select apple, orange. Similarly, select other fruits. Switch. This will send the email notification to the users, people who are in two, with the summary of the fruits. Next step is to reset the values. As we have already shared the summary for the day, so reset the values, count values in the list. In order to do so, search for update item in SharePoint. Provide the required information, site address, list name, and the ID is 1. In apple, reset value to 0. Similarly for orange and similarly for mango. Save. So this flow will execute every day. For the testing purpose, let me remove this trigger and let us execute it manually just to check our flow is working as per the expectation. Our flow ran successfully. Let me quickly check the list. Values are reset. First check the list. Yes, 000. Now let me check the email. Yes, here is the summary. Apple ate orange and the mango.